Hello. And is this live? Is this true? Is Pop live? Yes, I'm live and I'm alive. I'm here, folks. And today I'm live to talk about the Switch 2. Now I know it's not Star Wars related, but it's something that I picked up recently. I did not do a pickup video on the Switch 2. There's thousands of pickup videos out there, and unfortunately, Target canceled my order, so I did not get the Switch on release day. But shout out to Walmart for the restock at 11:55 p.m. on a Friday night. I was able to get the Switch too. I got right here. I got the I guess you could say Mario Kart World bundle. It's just a sticker. So yeah, little small package, but I got it right here. Let me show you guys. So I do got the Switch 2 right here. Now, this case that you see on here, this is not how it comes. It's not all red. I like the red. I did put the link in the description. This is from Amazon. It's 15 bucks. 15 bucks. Um, you can still take out the Joy-Con, put it on. It has a little protection on here. So pretty dope. Switch 2. So reason why I thought about making this a video, but then I also wanted to get some people's opinion as well. Obviously, after seeing thousands of reviews, unboxings online, people titling my first 24 hours with the Switch to my first week with the Switch to, um, you get mixed reviews. And to me, I feel like there's a couple ways either Nintendo could have went on actually promoting the Switch 2, and and as simple as maybe a name change. Because whenever you go from one console and then name it the same console but put two, like the PS, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, for me the expectation is next level. Not saying that the Switch 2 is not next level, but it means a lot of things, new controllers, new home page layout, new sounds, a whole different design. There's a lot of like expectations when you're moving from one console to another. So I thought about doing this live. I see shout outs to all five of you guys out there watching. I appreciate it. If you are watching now, go ahead and throw a comment. Let me know. Do you own a Switch 2? Or let me know if you're planning to get a Switch 2 in the future. Uh, off the rip, the Switch 2 got a lot of bad reviews because the simple fact of the price. And this is before even launch. $500. It's a lot. And $500 was the bundle, right? You kind of save because the Switch 2 itself is $450 US dollars. And but if you get the bundle with Mario Kart World, it's 500. Mario Kart World by itself was 80. So you kind of save money there by getting the bundle if you could get the bundle. Um, Speaking about Mario Kart World, it being $80, it's a lot. You know, um, I've not so much of a gamer or an avid gamer now. I game from time to time. I really love my Switch One, which is right here. Really love my Switch One. Played thousands of hours. Either myself or playing with the kids. Mario Kart, Mario Party, Jeopardy. Like Nintendo could be titled as a family kind of system, which it is because I like how it got titles and games that families could play all together. But it also got amazing games that you could just play alone, standalone games. Um, but for it to be $80 for a game is a lot, you know. Right now in this economy and finding jobs and cost of living going up, $80 is kind of tough, man. It's kind of tough. And the $500 price is kind of tough, you know. And I understand, new technology, new processor, HDR, the magnet system and the Joy Cons, like um, so many things, right? But still, how can we bring the costs so that people that have families, because Nintendo tends to promote themselves as a family oriented system, how can a dad or mom or single parent be able to afford this Switch too, so they could play with their family or get it for their kids, right? So off the bat, when they announce the whole Switch 2 and the price, it caused a lot of problems. A lot of people were I saw people saying they were gonna boycott the Switch 2. They're not gonna get it at all. It's too much. They're gonna wait to see if it goes down. The price of $80 Mario Kart, people's like, that's not a game worth $80, right? Um, so it got a lot of negative, but for me personally, like, and this is just me personally, I was gonna get it, right? And I got it. I'm a big Mario Kart fan, and Mario Kart World was not gonna come out for the Switch One. Now, if Mario Kart World came out for the Switch One and Switch Two, I might not have the Switch Two right now, right? I might just say, let me go ahead and get Mario Kart One or World for the Switch One, play that, and then later on down the road, I'll get a Switch 2. But the only way to play this game is on the Switch 2. So to me, it kind of like not necessarily forced my hand because we all make decisions. I could decide not to pay the $500, for the console, the system, but I really wanted to play Mario Kart World. Um, so off the bat, we get the Switch. It's amazing, right? It's a nice system. Big difference in size. So, huge difference in size. Like, look at this. Sorry for the glare. Now, it's been about almost 2 weeks with the Switch 2, right? 2 weeks, and I've been playing this more handheld than in the dock. And maybe it's because I'm not used to playing handheld the Switch, because this one primarily I will leave in the dock. I will rarely take this out of the dock. It will be sitting there ready to go, ready to play. I just had to make sure I charge the Joy Cons because when the kids come over, we're playing, like I said, Mario Kart and party all weekend long. This one, it's bigger. The screen is huge, right? Um, but I'm like, let me go ahead and try this and start playing this handheld. That's the other reason why, if you notice, this Switch One does not have any protector cover. This one does. I said, I'm gonna start playing this Switch 2 more handheld. So as I'm playing this, I started noticing that, my fingers are hurting because how wide this screen is and how big it is. And I'm like, do I prefer the size of the Switch 1 versus the Switch 2? Like size wise. You know, I don't have an OLED, which I'm still trying to get an OLED in the future to kind of have all three versions. That's just a weird person in me, right? I have all versions, but I'm like, man, this is some people like it big, right? But I think personally, I might prefer the size of the Switch One, just plain handheld. We got some comments on here. What up? Hey Pop, how's it going, friend? Been too long. What's going on? T Man. Yeah, I saw the Switch 2 in person the other day. It's very impressive. There's a lot of improvements. Yes, there is a lot of improvements. We'll talk about some of them improvements. Obviously, the changes to it. Um, I was concerned in the beginning with the magnet, right? Is it gonna hold? And you can see I'm holding the Switch with the magnet. So the magnets don't come off. Like they come off when you release this button right here in the back. But besides that, see if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that magnet is strong. So that was the one part that I was worried about. And I know a lot of people were complaining about the screen. Let me go ahead and see if I can get some Mario Kart World on here. Hopefully, I don't want to get copyrighted because I know Nintendo be out there copywriting people. But you can see the screen right here. You know, screen looks great. Some people didn't know why they didn't put OLED on here. You went from the Switch LCD screen to then OLED until now you go back. So I know that was a big concern. I want to shut the music off real quick because again, I don't want to get copyrighted here. Um, I think the biggest thing for me when it comes to the Switch 2, if you did not do an update on your Switch 1, which I did do the update on the Switch 1. And I did do the update kind of like before I purchased the Switch 2. It on the screen it kind of looks similar, right? If you own an Xbox, uh, original Xbox, Xbox 360, S, and then Xbox One S, and then Series X, there's different like kind of home screens and startups and sounds. Same thing with PlayStation. But when I got the Switch 2, after updating my Switch 1, it kind of felt like it took the moment away from me because it kind of felt the same. Now, don't get me wrong, when you set up your Switch 2, they got a dope music in the background. I don't know who made those beats, but once you do the setup, they got a nice song on there. It's pretty fire. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go on YouTube and go on one of the Switch 2 unboxings, and a lot of them show you the setup and then the music's in the background. But it kind of felt like, it's a Switch 1. So maybe to a lot of people that maybe get the Switch 2 and they're setting everything up, they're like, this is pretty much like my Switch 1, just, Mario Kart world on there. And then so I thought, why did they name it Switch 2? Right? It's an upgrade. It looks like the Switch 1, but bigger screen. The Joy-Cons kind of look the same, just they're magnetic, right? Would we have been okay if they called this the Switch Pro or the Switch XL? And I kind of go back to like the Nintendo DS, right? You had DS, DSi, 3DS, then they came out with 3DS XL. I didn't hear no complaints. I didn't hear anybody saying, "Why did I purchase this?" It was like an upgrade, right? You either stay with your DS, or if you want a camera and be able to record yourself, and there's games and interactive games for you to record yourself and take pictures, then you get the DSi. If you want to have the same camera but turn your games automatically to 3D, and you get a DS, 3DS. And then if you want the same 3D camera feel and everything, but you want it bigger, then you get the 3DS XL. So we have been okay if Nintendo came out and said, "Okay, we heard that you guys want a bigger screen, and we gave you a little bit bigger screen with the OLED, but now we're gonna give you a screen that's almost comparable to the Steam, right?" Would we be okay with that? And would we not have any negatives like reviews? Um, Obviously, I'm going on talking about things about the Switch, and then me personally, right? Just speaking personally, I love the Switch too, and I have no problems with it. The only thing, like I said, it's pretty big, right? And at times, maybe I might get cramps on my hands from playing, but I'm playing for 2 hours, right? So am I gonna get cramps with playing, you know, the regular Switch one for 2 hours? Possibly, right? But the HDR looks beautiful, even on the TV screen. Mario Kart World is amazing. Just to give me Mario Kart and then give me open world. Because after a while, let's be honest, Mario Kart has like what, 8 circuits. You finish those 8 Grand Prix or circuits, whatever. You get every single trophy. Then you try to beat your time. And then maybe you're playing Mario Kart online. But what if you're not a Mario Kart person that wants to play online, right? What if you don't play online? And I know I used to play online, you know, old first person shooters and all that stuff. Gears of War, of course. I got it tatted on the arm, right? But sometimes I just want to grab the Switch and just relax. I'm not trying to talk to anybody or play anybody. What's up? Mucho dinero. What up, Star Wars nerd? What up, JT? Yeah, mucho dinero, mucho. You're So having Mario Kart open world, that's takes care of my type of player, right? That likes to look for little things. And there's so many things you could do. Like people are thinking, okay, what are you gonna do in open world? You're gonna go around tracks. Yes, you could go around tracks, but there's like puzzle pieces to find. There's coins to collect. There's special blue coins that you could get when you hit the P switch. There's Nab Rabbit. You could come and chase him. So you get stickers from unlockables. There's certain things that you have to beat at a certain time. But even going around is cool. You see Goombas, you see big fishes, you see I don't even know. It looks like a Gyarados. I don't even know what that is in the ocean, but it's cool. It's just roaming around trying to find secrets. You could break blocks. You could do a lot of things, and it's a big, huge world. So for me, I love it. Right? Hey, what up, Nick Gamer? Welcome. So the Switch 2, is it for everybody? You know, if you could afford it, one, because I know it's very expensive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna throw this out there. Like it's not. It is very expensive. $500 for a Switch to go from 300 to 500 in 8 years. I get it, it's a lot. Or 450, right? It's 450. Um, and then you're charging $80, $70 for games. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot, and it's really truly up to you if you can afford that. But, right, this is what I say. There's a lot of games that are like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, what is it, Cyberpunk, um, Yakuza, Zero. Like a lot of these games have already came out and they're in old systems. And yeah, they re-released them so you could get the upgraded. I mean, you have the game already and you still got to pay $10 to get the upgraded version and play them on the Switch too. If none of those games, like if you don't want to play any of those games and you're not a Kart fan, then getting a Switch 2 right now doesn't make sense. I would say continue playing your Switch 1 because what is the point of getting the Switch 2? Like me, you know, like when I say we play Mario Kart in this house, we play Mario Kart in this house. Like my kids are getting nasty right now in Mario Kart. I used to spank my entire family in Mario Kart. They couldn't touch me. And now, to even have my girlfriend, my kids, all of them racing against me with no antenna and they're beating me. And now I'm coming in third, sometimes fourth. We play Mario Kart in this house. So for me personally, I wanted it. I wanted the system. There's the new system with new Mario Kart. I'm big on open world, right? I love open world games. Mario Odyssey, right? I love that game for the Switch one. So for me, it worked. For me, I wanted it. And then I'm also excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza because again, not a big Donkey Kong fan. Um, I did have, back in the days, Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country, classic, right? But the other Donkey Kong games I didn't get, I didn't get Donkey Kong 64. But this is open world Donkey Kong. You could smash a mountain, you could break the ground, you could throw rocks, you could look for hidden bananas. That speaks my language. So for me, getting a Switch 2 now to play Mario Kart World in June and then Donkey Kong coming out on July 17th. Yeah, I already know the date. It's 4 days after my birthday. Pre-ordered. It makes sense for me. But if none of those games are your, cup of tea, then it makes no sense to get the Switch 2 right now. We got some comments on here. You, you haven't s- split a drink on spilled a drink on this setup. Oh my god. No, I haven't spilled a drink like this on your whole setup. No, 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 no. So speaking about the setup, right? Oh, what up, Chris? You're bro. Stop talking about the Phillies, bro. We're in a six game losing streak right now. We're gonna snap it tonight. All right. So what comes in the Switch 2? So first, let's look at the box, right? So this was my Switch 1 box. If you look at the box, beautiful. You got some pictures on here. You know, you got the back, more pictures on the side. Pretty decent size. To go from the Switch 2 box, I mean, were they trying to save? Like, look at this size. Are they trying to save money? One big picture on the side, one picture, and that's it. And then they put a sticker on here. If this was the Mario Kart World Edition Switch 2, I would have put Mario Kart World all over this joint. But they just put a sticker on here. I guess that's what they use to determine which system is which with a sticker. Um, I did have here examples because I made sure I pulled everything. This is the dock for the Switch 1. Okay. And the cool thing about the dock, you just open like this. And this is where sorry, you can see over here, your power cord, your HDMI, all goes in there. And this is the dock, right? But you come over here, this is the dock for the Switch 2. Bigger, glossier on the inside. right? It got a fan, so that's cool. No overheating. But okay, you open the back, right? Because you gotta put the cables back there. This entire thing comes off. Why? Couldn't they have something that just opens like this and stays like this? Heck, I'll even take this. It's hanging. But now I have to take the whole thing apart. I guess, wham, wham, wham. I guess is a complaint. But you go from being able to just pull it down a little bit. So you have to take all of it off and then make sure it snaps like that back on. Hopefully I didn't break it. But this is the dock for the Switch 2. Um, this is the controller that you can put the Joy Cons on there, and you see the magnetic Joy Cons. Let me go ahead and take these off so you guys can see. Again, this is just a case. I got this for 15 bucks on Amazon. Nice protective case, and you can put your Joy-Con. Has a separate case too. The link is in the description. But okay, we take this off. We can put them on here. We put them on here. So this is the Switch 2. Yo, what up, Alex? See, definitely bigger, and this is the Switch 1. So obviously the theme for me on this Switch 2 is just like everything big, right? Bigger screen. You have like a bigger dock, bigger controller. Everything's bigger, right? Let's see. I got some comments on here. We got $500 and they buy box art down. Nah, I'll give them three. Exactly. You're what up, Bricks? What up, Pops? What up, Bricks? How you doing? Sorry. Somebody's trying to call while I'm live. Um, yeah, so you have the dock, it's good to me. I know it's a bonus that it has a fan. So maybe, that costs some money. Maybe I don't know if it's gonna cost you a lot of money to put a little fan in there, but I guess they're charging more money for that. I think overall, like I said, I love the Switch too. Um, I'm enjoying it. I'm really excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out July 17th. I'm having a great time with the open world like every single night. I'm excited to come home, grab the Switch off the dock, go to the room, lay down because I've been working on my feet all day and just spending 2 hours trying to find things and get all the coins and unlock all the characters and vehicles. I'm having a good time. So for me, I won't be giving the Switch 2 like a negative review, but I do want to throw that out there to people that might have felt disappointed. Like, unless you're a person that's really wants to go in and collect all the vehicles, all the cars, all the stickers, go around all the open worlds, do all the P switches, do all this stuff. If you're not that type of person, this may not be for you right now. Heading to Lucasfilms today. Let's go, Alex. That's what's up. This may not be for you, and that's fine. You know, I'm not knocking anybody that doesn't have a Switch too. You know, one, I know is super expensive, right? And then two, Mario Kart World may not be your game. Maybe you already beat Breath of the Wild, their Breath of the Wild DLC, Tears of the Kingdom. You already beat Cyberpunk and Yakuza, right? You already beat all those games. So what is really the point? Stick with your Switch. If you got the OLED came out what 3 years ago? That's still fairly new. And you might be like, I'm gonna go from an OLED screen back to LCD screen, like, you know? Don't get me wrong, it still looks beautiful on the screen. Obviously, I don't have an OLED switch to compare, and I've watched a lot of comparable videos. And yes, OLED is the preferable screen. But if we know anything about Nintendo, you know the Switch 2 OLED is gonna come out in the next 2 years, probably. Let's be honest, right? Nintendo is Nintendo. That I'm surprised, maybe because the months are too close to each other, but I'm surprised they didn't come out with a Donkey Kong version of the Switch too, with yellow Joy-Cons, banana Joy-Cons. We know Nintendo's gonna do that, right? And we have other companies that are the same. The way I view Nintendo is the same way I view Apple. Apple only wants you to use their product, their chargers, even though there's third party, you know, accessories, and eventually they'll have third party accessories for the Switch too. But right now, a lot of it's just Nintendo. Nintendo's gonna get their money. They want their money, and at the end of the day, it's a company, right? And regardless on how we feel, right? You have to decide if you want to get it or you not get it. But as far as the Switch 2 system itself, it's amazing. The loading time is way quicker than what it is in the Switch 2. HDR on the screen looks amazing on the big TV, right? Um, some of the things that I didn't like is that I had to buy another SD card express. Um, you know, I had this SD card already, a 256 gig XD card for the Switch 1. Now I gotta buy another one for the Switch 2 because it's not express. And I got downloadable games on those that I purchased from the Nintendo store. So those are, some things that maybe I didn't like, that I have to spend another, $50 to get another SD card, you know? But at the end of the day, we all have decisions and choices that what we want to do. Do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? And to me, like I said, I made the decision, I purchased it. I'm giving you guys my review. I'm not gonna be like, here, Nintendo does not pay me. Actually, nobody pays me for the except for the company that I work for. So there's no payment here for nothing. I'm gonna give you the honest truth. Now, where Nintendo wins for me when it comes to the Switch 2 is this right here, the Pro controller, right? So I was worried, right? Because if you're a PlayStation owner, you know that, when you went from the PS4 to the PS5, you needed the new controllers. So I'm like, great. So are you telling me, because I bought extra Joy Cons. Well, actually, my girlfriend bought me these ones. They kind of match my Splatoon too. But you see, got these Joy Cons, and then I got these Joy Cons right here, the blue and red, and then I got the gray ones. So I got, 6 Joy Cons, and I'm like, you telling me, great, I have to purchase now the magnetic Joy Cons for the Switch 2, and no, you don't. So Nintendo wins there. You don't, if you have a Switch 1 and you bought a Pro controller and you bought different colored Joy Cons because you're that person that want to accessorize your Switch, it still works for the Switch too, which is dope, right? So that, to me, that was a win, because if they would have said, no, you got to buy the new Pro controller and you got to buy the magnetic Joy Cons, then I would have been like, damn, Nintendo, really? Really, Nintendo? So to me, that's pretty cool that you could do that. Let's see, bricks. I wonder if they do an OLED too. I had the first one. Yeah, I totally believe. Shout out to all 8 of you on here watching live. If it's your first time here, I'm here talking about Nintendo Switch 2. I purchased it maybe 11 days ago. I'm having a good time with it, but there is some pros and cons, right? And it kind of boils down to what you like. A lot of people do fall up into the hype. I'm one of those people. There's been plenty of times I've gotten to the hype of something, purchased it, and then I'm like, why did I purchase it? Right? I give you an example. The Dragon Ball game, Sparking Zero, right? I know a lot of people that I'm a Dragon Ball fan, but I'm not necessarily a fan of fighting games. Back in the day, yes. Back in the day, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, Marvel versus Capcom, like, yeah, I used to play back in the day, but also back in the day, because I am kind of old, there was only like 2 or 3 buttons. So it's kind of easy for me to remember the moves. As I'm getting older, it doesn't tickle my fancy, right? But I purchased the game because I'm a Dragon Ball fan. There was a lot of hype around it. I've seen a lot of people buy it as well. They're telling me it's amazing. I purchased the game, probably played it less than 5 times. It's just sitting there on the PS5. I did the digital download. So sometimes we all fall into the hype, right? And the hype was the Switch too. It was selling out everywhere. And everybody, if you looked at their feed the day of the release, everybody was posting it. So you're like, damn, I freaking want to Switch too. But for me, I'm telling you, if you're excited to play Cyberpunk and you never played it, then get the Switch too. If you never played Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild and you used to play Zelda back in the day, you could buy a Switch too and get the upgraded version. If you love Mario Kart and you want to do open world Mario Kart and play the latest and greatest of Mario Kart, then get the Switch too. But if you don't like any of those, again, then I probably wouldn't get it for now. I'm not saying the system itself is not amazing. I'm just saying that you're probably going to spend a lot of money on a system that's going to be collecting dust and it's just going to be sitting in the dock because there's no games for you out there. And that's another thing, where are the games? Where are the new games? I don't want a game that has been out for 4 or 5 years and then you just upgraded it and made it, HD and all this stuff. I want new titles. I want new games. And to open up with just Mario Kart World, it's kind of tough because not everybody's going to play Mario Kart like I play Mario Kart. Nah, those are Joy Cons. No, Wanda and Cosmo for our parents anywhere. Yeah, man. It's it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I do let me show you guys right here. So this is my Switch 2, right? Let's see if I can move it. Is it this way? Oh, I just did a big jump. Okay, maybe it's this one right here. There we go. So I do have other games. I'm a big Mario fan, and all my games are on there. Some games actually got an update, like the Bowser's Fury. It got an update and it looks way better on the Switch too. Trust. Mario Wonders look amazing on the Switch too. Captain Toad got an update. So there's a list of some games they got free updated on there. Let me click on this one real quick, uh, so you guys can see. So I got a lot of my games also um, downloaded into the system. So I got some games on here. But as you guys can see, I do play a lot of Mario games. Hence the reason why I bought the Switch protector in red. You know, you could just slap a big Mario sticker right here and boom, Mario 2 Switch, right? So there are some games in there. So you can play some of your old games. I don't know if you're that type of person that, randomly goes in and plays their old games and be like, you know what? I never collected all these in this game. Let me pop it back in and try to get them. So I will look at the list on Nintendo.com of the games that got free upgrade or updated for the Switch 2 and see maybe you own some of those games. And then if you do play those games, then maybe you get a Switch 2 if you can find one, right? But at the end of the day, I like the Switch 2. I'm using it every single day. I'm gonna, this weekend is my daughter's birthday. Um, the first thing we're going to like an Airbnb. That's what she wanted for her birthday. And she called me and she said, Dad, can you bring the Switch? Because that's all we do. We have fun with the Switch. So for me, it's gonna get used. It's not gonna be collecting dust. But again, if there's not a game, my advice to you, if there's not a game that you are excited for that Nintendo has announced, then I will wait. If you're a person that their Switch 1 is collecting dust, then there'll be no point of getting a Switch 2 right now. Any comments out here? We got 6 people on here. Any comments that you guys have about the Switch 2 or maybe some questions about the Switch 2 that you guys want to know? Look what I have here. Tanuki! Got Toad here too. So yeah, I'm big into Nintendo. The physical games do work. So I think I have one actually in here. Yeah, it was the Breath of the Wild. So you got this right here. It's a little bit different, but the Switch One games work. All right. Hello, America. How we doing? It's all gonna be about Borderlands 4 when it comes out. No need for a Switch. Laugh out loud. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people, depending on what you like, right? I'm definitely late, but I'm glad I'm back. Hey, no problem. Thank you for joining. I know it's not your typical Lego live, which I will be doing a Lego live next week. Lego live. My boy Brandon. We'll be doing a live. I got it. I actually, where's it at? I got this right here for Father's Day. So this is what we'll be doing, a collab Lego live right here. Star Wars Django episode 2. Shout outs to the kids. My kids pay attention. They know that daddy likes Django Fett. And then I also got this one here. This probably be another Lego live after that's done. So be looking forward to Lego lives. I don't know. I might change the name to Lego and Chill. You know what I'm saying? Because if you guys know me, I like to build Legos. I like to talk to you guys. And then yeah, we got a little Jack and Coke action, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations, thank you. When Slave One? Yeah, that's a good question. Um, that's a good question. It's called I bought a Switch too. Don't get me wrong, the Slave One, I'm aiming for the holiday season, you know. I've been a very good boy, Santa. Okay. I haven't punched anybody in the face, so been a very good boy. Maybe Santa Claus gets me. Laugh a lot, that's good. Ha ha ha. So what else? I wanna obviously we've been talking about 46 minutes about Switch 2. I'm trying to think of I should have probably took down some notes, but you guys know me, man. And if it's your first time here, I do it off the dome. I do live. When it says live, it's live, man. We're not scripted. I'm gonna mess up on my words. In my past lives and YouTube, I spilled stuff on here. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's being authentic right there, right? No script, but I'm trying to make sure I go over my all my talking points. But switch to I'll sum it up again. Like if you're not a fan of Mario Kart or play it every day, and you're not a fan of Donkey Kong, then I would just wait. Right? You got the Metro Prime game that's gonna come out in the future. I'm waiting for some type of Nintendo Direct that kind of gives us a little bit of guidance of some games that are releasing at the end of this year. There's a rumor going around that Luigi Mansion 4 might be released. Again, there's no like true source to that. People could just be throwing things out of their but man, if Luigi 4 Mansion 4 comes out, whoo, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. Haven't had those yet. Any good? Doesn't usually get a prime mix. Yeah, it's good. To be honest with you, not a sponsor, but at Jack Daniels, if you or Coke, you do want to sponsor me, go ahead. Um, it tastes just like a Jack and Coke, not too sweet, just that right mix, right? Obviously, if I was making it, it would be a little bit more stronger, but you could taste it. You could taste it. Yeah, that's okay. I understand. And I love Mario Kart. Luigi Mansion 4 will be fun as heck. Yes, Luigi Mansion 4. Um, there's also rumors, but it won't be into 2026, which I feel personally, right? I feel that if you don't get a Switch this year, it's fine. Switch 2, it's fine. Again, I there's a lot of reasons why I got the Switch 2 right now. And the main reasons is my this is what I do with my kids. This is how we bond. This is the family, all the kids involved. My kids are getting older. My daughter's turning 18, right? My stepson's gonna turn 18 next month. This is what keeps the family in the living room is this Switch 2 or Mario Kart or playing Jamboree, Mario Party Jamboree. So getting the latest and greatest Mario Kart with all the new carts, all the new characters, all the new maps, we needed this, right? But my girlfriend still says that, she said, well, if the Switch 2 came out with a Zelda game, I still think you were gonna get it. And I told her no. Nothing against Zelda. Sorry, my eye is kind of bothering me. Nothing against Zelda, right? I mean, obviously, I own Breath of the Wild, and that game, you know, looks amazing. It was amazing on the Switch One, and obviously, the little upgrade, it's even more amazing on the Switch Two. But Zelda is not like my top, so I told her I wouldn't get it. She goes, "Nah, you still would have got it." But they got me with the Mario Kart, and if they would have did a Mario Odyssey 2, oh my god, Mario Odyssey 2. So that's what I'm saying. Switch 2 right now, you can hold up on if none of these games are your cup of tea. But in 2026, the Switch 2, you're gonna start seeing a lot of the games being released in 2026. That's my prediction, right? Not facts. I don't work with Nintendo, but I think 2026 you're gonna start seeing a lot of more games. And I think that was the biggest complaint too from the people is like you came out with old games but updated it for the Switch 2 and you just came out with one true game in the beginning, which is Mario Kart, you know? They needed more games. Let's see. I gotta make you some whiskey, Dr. Pepper, and ooh, Rebel Scum. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. I understand 100%. I love all the Mario games, though, pretty much. Yes, Mario Odyssey 2. I love Mario Odyssey. That might be one of the best Mario games ever. Exactly. Mario Odyssey, my and again, my girl don't even play Mario games like that. And she finished Mario Odyssey 2 by herself. And fun fact, she, you know, I want to say this low because I don't want her to get too excited. Okay. She got more moons than me in Mario Odyssey. Big whoop. Okay. I beat the game first. Just want to throw that out there. But yeah, Mario Odyssey 2 would be amazing. I'm not sure if we're going to get Mario Odyssey 2. Again, there's rumors out there that it's going to be Mario 3D game that Mario is going to be on other like Nintendo characters' worlds, which would be like imagine, Mario and Link go and Bowser steals Zelda and, and Princess Peach. Princess Peach gets stolen for the 700th time, you know. That would be amazing. Also rumors out there that it might be another Mario Sunshine. If you never played Mario Sunshine is an amazing game as well. Um, but yeah, you're not gonna get anything negative here. The Switch 2 to me is amazing. Screen is amazing. I love the magnets; they hold up well. The game loads up faster. It looks amazing on in HD in the screen, right? And now that your boy got glasses, I keep on telling everybody now I can see 4K. I can see at 4K because before everything was blurry. Um, so if you want to get a Switch 2, get a Switch 2 as long as you like those games, but save your money if you don't like any of the games now. 2026 is probably, or maybe they make an announcement that something comes out in the holiday, maybe holiday season might be your time. Let's see. Love Princess Peach gets stolen for the 700th time. I'd be dying. Yeah, I don't know how many times. Like you know, it's funny because they made the Mario movie and they showed Peach as this badass. Nothing against, you know, Peach being a badass, but she's a badass. She's like jumping off of blocks and mushrooms and breaking things. And Mario had to, do all this several times, several times, several times. They did that in the movie, but in the game, she's not like that. How many times she got stolen? Like, I'm gonna let you know. If I was Mario, I would be like, bro, if you get stolen one more time, deuces. I'm calling Pauline. I'm gonna go live in New Donk City. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Mario movie was so good. Of Speaking about Mario, where's it at? Do I have it here? Yeah. You want to see something that me and my girlfriend were watching yesterday? Now, this is what we called a cult classic, and I actually watched a documentary on the making of this movie. If you have not seen this movie, it's not going to uh hit all the points and be a 10 out of 10, but it's very dark. And at the time this movie came out in 1993, where the hype of Nintendo was crazy. But Nintendo again has always come off as a family friendly Mario's family friendly game. They made this movie so dark. It's crazy. But at the watching it now, I could see what type of vision they were trying to do. But back then in '93, it did not hit with everybody. And if you watch the documentary behind the scenes of this movie, it was a lot of turmoil and writers and rewriting and redirecting, and the directors suck and the actors hated the directors, and even afterwards making this movie, like John Leguizamo and the actor that played Mario said like this was like the worst decisions they made. Like, it's crazy to hear about it. But this is what we were watching last night. Wow, I totally forgot about that movie. Yeah, man. Classic movie right there. Yeah, it's crazy. It's you have some, characters there like, Yoshi is a actual dinosaur, right? Um, I think you got Iggy. What is it? Iggy and something Koopa on there, but they're not like any of the characters in the game. It kind of like they went too dark, and I think that's why maybe Nintendo didn't want to do a live action Mario, because I feel like now you can make a live action Mario. They are doing a live action Zelda, which rumor is right now they're actually, what is it, testing, not testing, auditioning or test auditioning who's going to play Link, and the movie's gonna still come out in 2027, because the Mario game that, or Mario movie that came out with Chris Pratt and what's his name, Jack Black as Bowser. Part two is coming out in 2026, so next year. So live action Zelda movie in 2027 is gonna come out. So we'll see how that goes. But I know Nintendo is very the company itself is they're very protective of their characters, anything that they put out there, like they don't want no leaks. They keep everything kind of hush hush. And this was the time back in the '80s, late '80s, Nintendo was kind of hesitant, and they gave the rights to make a movie to this company and trusting this company. And they came out with that 1993 movie. They got, I mean, the thing, the movie cost $48 million to make, but they only made 28 million. Now, obviously, that was during the time when the movie came out. Obviously, it grossed more. I think it's up to 36 million, but still, they never got the amount of money. Whenever you make a movie, you want to make more than what you spent to make it, right? That's always the goal. The saying, it takes money to make money. If I'm making $100 million movie, we better make $200 million in the box office. I need my 100 million back, you know. So Nintendo was like really burnt. And again, '93. And when did the Mario movie, the animated movie, came out? What was it? 2024 it came out. So all those years for even Nintendo to even think about doing a movie, because they were burnt. After this, they were like, "Yo, you made us look bad. You made Mario look terrible. We're not gonna do this again." Princess Peach sucks at Mario games. Can't hang out. Got some stuff to do, but I subbed. Oh, shout outs to you, Too Loud Tech. I appreciate you for subbing. I love how I just pop in the chat and just start spamming laugh out loud. Now it's all good. It's all good. If you guys are late and just joining, I see the 10 of you guys here. I did review the Nintendo Switch 2. I do have it right here. I actually bought this nice protective case. I let you guys look at it. Nice protective case on here. And I got this for 15 bucks. What am I doing, bro? I got it for 15 bucks. I have it right here. Where we at? Where we at? Nope, I don't have it right here. What happened to it? Uh, Let me go. I thought I had it all set up, but I didn't. Bam! There we go. Nintendo Switch 2 TPU shell with anti-slip handles, 15.99. Yeah, 15.99. For me, I could get it tomorrow, but they do have like it shows you what to do. Can I make this? There we go. Want to make it bigger. Can you switch through the images here? Oh, well, that's making it too big. All right, cool. Boom. You see that's the shell on there. It kind of tells you to kind of pull slightly outward because yes, adding this and I was like, man, I gotta you know move my dock a little bit forward to get it, but it does fit. You put it on here. You see now, okay. You want to act up when we're online? Oh, because I didn't put it centered. Now it just goes straight. I don't even have to tilt it no more. Because I obviously the protector is a little bit thicker, but now like it just goes in. Gotta make sure it's centered so it docks in. Boom. Don't have to tilt it no more. So it's on here. You can see right here, water resistant. I wouldn't try it though. I would not try it. I would not try it. All right. And then the cool thing is, let's go over here. They got some other colors. Where are the other colors? I thought I saw other colors. Okay, let me go back here. There we go. So here's the other colors. Same price if you want to keep it all black. I thought about keeping it all black, but then I said, you know what? I want to add some spice to it because I didn't get anything for my Switch One. I still had but to be honest with you, I was trying to do things a little bit different. If you were here in my live, the Switch in the beginning, I talked about the Switch One I primarily used in the dock. It just sat there in the dock. So that's why I didn't need no cover protection because it wasn't gonna go anywhere. It was just gonna sit there. Now, don't get me wrong, I took it out from time to time, and I was very careful with it. I mean, this is the original Switch, so this is 8 years old. Screen protector, same screen protector that I bought day one. Put it on there, no cracks, no scratches. But then I said, you know what? With the Switch 2, I do want to take it out. I do want to take it out, go around town with it. I'm in the doctor's office. I'm switching it up. We're doing the groceries. I'm switching it up. Take it to work. So that's why I decided to buy. But as you can see, they got different designs and different colors. That's pretty dope right there. Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man. We got strawberries going over here. That's the red one that I bought. Um, but good stuff. Go back to. Did I miss anything? They might have some problems like Snow White if the Link rumor I'm seeing gonna end up true. What do you mean, like Snow White in the Disney movies? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a believe it or not, there's a lot of Zelda fans, a lot of Link fans, and I know there's a lot of Disney heads. I think if they stay true and don't sway away, stay true to the story of Link and Princess Zelda and what is it, Hyrule, like the world. Like if they stay true, they'll be okay. You know, the Nintendo Switch 2 sounds amazing, though. I'll have to pick one up soon. Nice. You were so lucky when you got to go to Star Wars convention in Japan. Yeah, I was lucky. Um, you know, financially, yeah, lucky that I'm able to get the Switch, but financially, man, that Japan trip, whew, just drained me, man, drained me. I'm still in recovery mode, you know. I may not seem like I'm in recovery mode, but yeah, but it was amazing. I am lucky, and every time, like, sometimes we all have to be grateful and realize what I did, right? Realize that I was in Japan, you know. That's crazy. And it would have been crazy to be in Japan during the Nintendo Switch release. But I heard over there in Japan they did lottery. They did lottery, which, I don't know. Is that good or not? Because I think lottery is pretty cool because you got all those people that go ahead and spam the website and they take up all the orders real quick and it sells out. Now, me, when the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders, I believe it was April 25th, I was ready. I had my phone, my other phone, the Mac, mini right here screen. I'm ready to go. Let's go. I need that Switch 2. I want to play Mario Kart World. And it was just not, there was nothing there. And then finally I got in through Target but it wasn't store pickup. I'm like, oh, I know people are pre-ordering and they got store pickup at Best Buy and they get to line up at midnight and I want to do that, but I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. As long as I can lock seal a switch to, I got it. Cool. Then about a week and a half to almost 2 weeks, a week and a half uh to the release of the Switch 2, my order gets canceled by Target. So now I ain't got nothing. And the day I heard GameStop was gonna have extra switches available and Best Buy, extra switches available during launch midnight release, right? And I want to say like Best Buy had two separate lines from what I seen from people that recorded for people that pre-ordered and people that are just here to pick up a Switch too. I think they had the same similar situations at certain GameStops, but I worked that night to 9:30. So even when I came out of work, there's gonna be people in the line since like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe even earlier. So I was like, man, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was pretty sad the day of the launch, seeing everybody play online, seeing everybody pick up the Switch. So many people that I've followed for years that I know, some of them I known personally, some of them I work with. I never knew they ever liked the Nintendo because I never seen anything them post Nintendo. They were all posting Switch 2s. I was really in my feelings that day. You could ask my girlfriend. I was off. And then I didn't even bother to get up in the morning. I was like, why I'm gonna get up in the morning and go and be disappointed. And I should have woke up that morning, the day of release, because Target had some sitting there, not for all day, but they were sitting there for a couple hours until everybody kind of found out that hey, there's Switch 2s at Target. Go get them. Um, so that was Thursday, and then Friday night at 11:55 p.m. I happened to go to Walmart.com just to see if anybody has a Switch 2 around me. And when I clicked on the Switch 2 bundle that brought Mario Kart World, it says that you're in a queue. And I'm like, what? I'm in a queue? And then it says something like, you're in the queue, do not refresh, doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get like a Switch or something like that. Cool. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm in, and there's a timer for 10 minutes. That I got 10 minutes to purchase the Switch 2. I'm like, "Yes." I purchased it, got my confirmation, and then here's the other cool part. It's gonna be delivered to your house Monday. So the Switch released Thursday, right? Midnight. You want to call it Wednesday night, but technically it's Thursday, and I got it Monday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days. I didn't have it from the release. Still not bad, but I got it on Monday. Super excited. Transferred everything. The transferring system went smooth, no issues. All my games on there. I was ready. I had the Express SD card, and we were playing Mario Kart World. And then that weekend leading up, coming up, my kids were coming over, so they played Mario Kart World. Um, so we had a good time. So yeah, I was excited about the Switch 2. Got it. Um, And yeah, and now it's been almost 2 weeks, still playing it, and after watching that Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, uh, I'm even more excited because that just tells me I'm gonna spend a lot of time. Just like I did with Odyssey, I'm gonna go crazy for bananas. It's really gonna be a bonanza. Let's see, the white one looks fire. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I like the red, casing. I'm sorry, what are you sorry about? Financially ruined the the other 2 cons weekly. Yes, yes. Yeah, doing big trips like that make you happy, but your wallet can't say the same. Yeah, yeah. Then it sucks when you come back because you gotta go out of town to get food and you realize that you haven't used the food at home instead of going out of town to eat. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it was dope, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't do everything in Japan. I don't think you can do everything in Japan unless you're there for like month, you know. So it gives me something, to look forward to. Uh, but I think I kind of forgot to talk about the whole lottery system in Japan. So I don't know her YouTube channel because I do not subscribe to her. She just happened to pop up on my algorithm, right? You search something for Switch, everybody shows up. Um, but she lives in Japan. She's from Australia, lives in Japan, and the Japan had two versions of the Switch. Well, I don't know if it's 4 versions. Maybe it's 4 versions or 2 versions, but there was an option. You can get the Japanese Switch too, which will only play Japanese games. It will only read everything Japanese, say everything Japanese. And I think it was like for 300 and like $70. I think that was the yen to US. So obviously if you got the Japanese version, it was cheaper. But then the other version was called the Global Switch, which will have all the different languages and you could play all different language games on that Switch too. That was the $400 or $500. So she obviously wanted the global because she's like, even though I do read and speak Japanese and I live here because she works there, she lives there. She wanted the global because maybe she didn't need to try to think extra and she could just read her language. They did a lottery. So I think it's called Big Camera, which is like a Best Buy in Japan. They had the Nintendo shop itself, and then they had Amazon. So you had to do a lottery in Japan, which I think that's a little bit better because, like I said, people can use bots and just go ahead and buy up all the switches online here in the US, them scalpers. And it's funny because the scalpers are not making that much money off the Switch because Nintendo was like, nah, we're gonna make sure we have enough consoles, to give out so that people are not paying, when PS5 came out, even though it was during that time it was a chip shortage. and people were paying $1,200 for a PS5 because the scalpers, that was their price. Now you see stuff on eBay and people are not selling Switch 2s because it's still somewhat attainable. You just have to kind of like stay on top of Target, Walmart, Best Buy whenever they get their restocks in. So I think to me, Japan, that lottery thing is pretty cool. And then she happened to win the lottery, I think for Amazon, but it was the Japanese version. So she ended up just taking it because at the time, like, you don't know. And you see lineups in Japan, they're very organized, very quiet. Everybody was quiet. They got in, but those were lineups for people that won the lottery in the store, so you could pick it up. Um, so maybe that would be kind of dope if we do a lottery when it comes to releases. At least it gives you a chance, unless everybody at home has a bot. You know, uh, Savio Vega. I have to go now. See you soon, Pop the Bounty Collector. All right, see you soon. Speaking about going, shout outs to you guys, everybody on here. I know this was like a last minute live. Shout outs to you. Yes, you watching the replay. Thank you so much. But I hope you guys enjoy more videos coming out soon. I know I still need to get that lightsaber review. There's just two things I need to record, and it needs to be dark. It needs to be nighttime. So I got to get that done. But that video hopefully comes out Saturday or Sunday. But thank you guys for everything. Peace.